Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to take you through the activity upgrade we have going in your system. Michael's my name. I'm the COO here at WHS Systems. So what we're looking at doing is improving the activity module so it's able to better represent an activity in the workplace. Currently what the activities look like is you have an activity with a description and you can add a document to it. Typically what people are doing is this document is a safe work method statement or an SOP. The activity actually underpins a lot of the Online WHS system. So you can relate a checklist or you can relate an incident to a particular activity and it manages it throughout the system. Moving forward, you can add multiple documents to an activity via the new document register. You can also add policies and procedures. You can also add insurance requirements. So an activity might require a certain type of insurance to be in place. And lastly, you can define worker requirements. So a worker who is doing the activity may require a different induction, qualification or vaccination to be able to do it safely. Through the system you can develop activity requirements, which helps define the activity, and then you can use that if you've got templates of activities going out across multiple sites. You can add sub-activities. So if you have the complex activity of building a shed, you might have the sub-activities of laying the slab, doing the electrical, and building the actual shed itself. The activity will continue to underpin a lot of the Online WHS system, but it can also be used for auditing different activities. Also, it's going to underpin our new contractor management system. Okay, so I'm in our activity register at the moment. I'm in the staging environment, so if you see something a little bit different, that's just because we're on staging. You'll see that the activity register looks very similar, and we can go through and add a new activity very easily. Just going to assign it to the global site. It could just be a electrical work. And that's all we need to define to create it. If I've defined requirements, I can put it in here. All that's going to do is that's going to make questions in the next step that I then have to answer. I don't want to do that right now because I'm showing you how to create a really simple activity. Here is our screen where we can assign everything to do with an activity. To recreate what we've done previously, all I'd need to do is request a specific safe work method statement. So all I'm saying is a requirement for doing this activity is to have a document called electrical safe work method statement, and then I can respond straight away saying please find attached, or whatever you'd like to say there. You can then link relevant documents from the register, including the document register, and let's do electrical installations. Now it's that simple. That has created our activity exactly as we've had it previously in the system. Okay, so let's go back and create a more sophisticated activity. For this, I'm going to create requirements needed. Now there's two types of requirements. The first is an internal activity and the second is activity for contractors coming onto site. So I can create activity requirements internal, external coming on site, or for both. So let's create one. And again, it's quite simple, but I'm going to use the sophisticated activity of floodlight service and maintenance. Okay, so the activity of servicing our floodlights. As always, I can do a review date, responsible person for continual improvements, and as with everything in the system, I need to select the sites that it's there for. I also need to do two things here. Is it internal? And is it available for a contractor? Now that's going to come into setting requirements for contractors to come on board. So that's an important one for later on. Again, I'm hit with this screen here. For insurances, I'm going to add 2 insurances. Now you guys would know a lot more about insurance types than I know, but I'm going to put in 20 mil public liability. Of course, that's $20 million. And terms is it must cover from heights up to 40 meters. And then I'm going to select that one as being needed. Alright, so I've added that type. Now the reason that I've had to add it as a type and then install it is because I might use this insurance type across multiple things. Alright, so I'm going to add that as a requirement. Now in this system I'm just building out what's required. It's like a template that people have to respond to. So I'm going to go ahead now and speed this up and just add a whole lot of things into this, and then I will run you through what I've done. Okay, so I've finished my requirements now. I've got the 2 insurances that I need for someone doing that, whether they're internal or external to have. I have the 5 safe work method statements and the name, what I'd like them to base. I could write what I'd like them to cover, but these are quite generic safe work method statements. I've got the 2 inductions, someone coming on board and doing this need to have completed. And then I have selected 2 qualifications of electrical engineering and white card there as well. Now that's picking up from my qualification section in the system as well. Alright, so I'm going to hit finish there, and that has now completed for that one. Here we are at the bottom. Okay, so I'm back at the activity register now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new activity. Okay, so I'm going to select the site, general site, select the requirements that we've had there. The activity is going to be internal floodlight service. Okay, so this is an activity that's both internal and external. Okay, now I need to fill out for each of these steps how I meet the criteria. So for insurance, I can go covers working up to 60 meters, and then I can choose my relevant insurance I've already got there, so that's a public liability. And then I can add another one here, my professional indemnity. I'll say up to $1 million, so, and basically I'm showing how I reach this criteria. Okay, so I'm just speeding this section up. All I'm doing is using the document register to demonstrate how I'm meeting these criteria. Okay, and this is how we've done it. Now, we've responded to both insurance and documents. Now that's what you do from a company perspective. Now the rest of these ones, induction qualifications, that will come down when people are individually assigned to it. Okay, so we have now finished and shown how we've adhered to that particular set of requirements. Okay, so I'd just like to thank you for joining us today. We went through the new activity register and making a new activity. We went through activity requirements as well as a document register. So if you've got any other questions on this, please do reach out to me. My details are here as always, support@whssystems.com.au. They're there if you've got any questions. So rather than go through to just myself, there's a team of people able to answer your questions. Thank you again for joining us.